Welcome to my kitchen. There's a smoothie on the menu today, and this smoothie has been part of my breakfast for over 10 years now. It's my favorite one, and I hope it'll become a favorite of yours too. So to get started making this, I use hibiscus tea for the base of the smoothie. And it does take a little advanced preparation. Take a tea bag and just drop it in a mason jar and pour water on it. And then let it sit at room temperature for 6 to 8 hours and you'll have tea. But truth be told, I've forgotten about it and let it sit for as long as 24 hours, and it hasn't been a problem. There's no need to put it in the sun or do anything special. Water doesn't have to heat at all, and voila, you'll have hibiscus tea in a few hours. There's another thing I do in advance, and I use red beets. So this red beet, about half of this will go into the smoothie. And because I have this every morning, I cut up beets for a week. I used to cook them, and I would steam them and peel them, and over the years I've come to realize that the skins are fine as long as they're well cleaned. So all I do is cut off the top end and the bottom end, and then with a vegetable peeler I will go over and take care of any stray root hairs or kind of blemishes that might need to come off. But otherwise, I would just eat the whole thing, and then cut it in half and in quarters. And I keep it in a covered bowl in the fridge. And obviously, if you're not making beets for the week, you just want to make a single smoothie, you don't need to do this. Also, I use this little bar board because beets bleed when you cut them and your hands get all red and everything. The cutting board gets red, so what I'll do is just put this little board goes into the dishwasher very easily. So I start with a cup and a half of hibiscus tea in my blender, and to that I add a tablespoon of flaxseed meal and a half a tablespoon of chia seeds. And I add a date. I always make sure that I squeeze the date to make sure it's hollow, to make sure the pit's out, because in every bag there's at least one date that still has the pit in it, and the Vitamix will grind it up pretty well, but you will end up with grit in your smoothie, so just make sure the pit's out. The next thing is the red beets, and this is about half of the beet that I just cut up, and that's 3 of the 4 chunks in the larger half. So to that I also add a half a cup of kale. This is frozen kale. You don't want any more than half a cup because I think it tastes grassy if you put too much kale in it. If you're using fresh kale, I would use 2 large leaves with the center vein removed. A cup of blueberries, frozen. And half a cup of yellow fruit. I use pineapple here, but in the summer I use peaches, and that would be about half a peach. And that's about all there is to it. I'm going to blend this up, but I'm going to turn off the camera because this thing is really loud. Sometimes I would like to blend my smoothie longer because the friction of the blades and the Vitamix heats it up. Not because I want a warm smoothie, but in the wintertime I really don't want ice in my smoothie. So I'll let it go for about 1.5 minutes. In the summer, when I want a little more ice in it, because it's hot, I will let it blend for 45 seconds to 1 minute. And that will depend on the blender you're using. I'm glad I could share my favorite smoothie with you today. And if you think you'll try it, please click on the thumbs up, give this video a like, and please subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos like this one. Also, if you click on the bell, you'll get a notification every time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching.